it should be working. It should. Whatever it is. I mean, what is it? Oh, God, I'll make a Faith No More joke right off the bat.
I was going to say, as Mike Patton once asked, what is it?
You know, the thing is, like, I kind of hate that song. Like, specifically that song, because that was the only Faith No More song that I heard for the majority of my life until Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
And then I heard We Care a Lot.
Okay.
And I really like that song. And I didn't realize that Faith No More had a different singer, their first, I don't know, album or whatever. Well, apparently, Forgotten God, we're talking about Faith No More right now. I don't know if that...
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. But, yeah. I respect anybody that can do lyrics about Garbage Pail Kids. Which, I don't know if you're familiar with the song We Care a Lot, but...
Not really.
I recommend it. It's got a... I like it.
Okay.
So, I dig it, which... I feel like it goes into a little... How do I put this? I am trying to make peace with how things are politically by trying to... I don't know if it's misery loves company, but understanding that as shitty as things are... it has been shitty before. And I do think that...
Quite shitty, yeah.
Yeah, so Reagan was shitty. Bush was shitty, both of them. But, like... And not to discount, like, I don't know, some of the, like, specifically shitty things that are going on. But kind of like, I don't know, dealing with how other people... Like, you know, Hunter S. Thompson... had some interesting thoughts about, you know, politics and so forth. And I don't know. Maybe I'm going through a Hunter S. Thompson phase. And even as shitty as things are right now, things are exceptionally good compared to, I don't know, you know, Gaza or Lebanon or whatever. Like, there's tremendously shitty things, ghastly things going on. So I don't know if that's like... I don't know if that's misery loves company or realizing that, like, the feelings are the same, but, like, the situations are different. So there are no new feelings, but the situations, they can be very different. I'm glad that my words transmit through the internet and make the Forgotten God, you know, Happy Town, whatever. All right, Fiery Skull Man. I'm gonna shoot you an invite. You got to get on here first.
Loading in.
But like the whole Faith No, like, I guess to kind of backtrack, I feel like that Faith No More song is a little bit of like I don't know what to classify Faith No More, but like, it reminds me of that 80s, we're not going to take it. Like, we're not going to take it anymore, and kind of like rebellion and like rebelling, but not really. Like, you realize that the things are shitty, but you really don't know where to direct it other than at the top.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be Generation Xers. Because, and oddly enough, the reason why I'm thinking about this is because we watched The Legend of Billie Jean, which, leave a comment below if you even know what movie I'm talking about.
It's a fairly obscure one.
And no, Christian Slater and Helen Slater are not related.
Correct.
They are not. But
I had not even heard of it until fucking Ernest Cline name dropped it in Ready Player 2.
Oh God, we're tangenting all over the place, but please continue.
It's part of his DEI initiative.
What?
His personal diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative.
Of all things nerdy, or
specifically trying really, really hard as a straight cis white guy to try and get out of that nerd bubble. Which the first book is very much ensconced in.
So trying to broaden one's own horizons.
Yeah, and I'm not doing a very good job at it.
Okay.
Yeah, that book is awful. Awful by the standards of the first book, which is
okay. I have a pile.
Literary compliment.
I'm looking at my pile of books to read, and you know what's in it? Ready Player One.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it, and if you want to do like I don't know a stream where we just talk about Ready Player One, we can do it.
Have I not talked about it before?
Oh no! I remember we walked around a Joseph Beth.
All right, I was going to say because I had very strong thoughts when I read it.
And you brought out like a PowerPoint presentation in the middle of Joseph Beth.
Yeah, it's. Ooh. and yet, despite that, I read the second book.
Because you hate yourself.
I guess so. Yeah. And it was even worse.
Oh dear. Well, I gotta watch, or I'm sorry, I gotta read the first book.
It'll take you like, I don't know, 2.5 hours. I don't know.
Dude, I got kids. That's reading on hard mode.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you invite.
Grade level, you'll be all right.
Okay.
Okay.
I've even got a mission all like ready to go to. Okay. But how did he bring up the legend of Billie Jean in Ready Player 2? And then I want to talk about the legend of Billie Jean.
It just kind of factors into the whole like nostalgia property melange thing.
Okay.
He does the nostalgia property goulash.
So when they make the movie version of Ready Player 2, are we going to get like CGI Billie Jean, Helen Slater like fighting Buckaroo Banzai?
I mean, if they can get the rights to it, if not, they'll just replace it with something else.
Okay, all right. I want
the movie. Yeah.
I want Buckaroo Banzai versus Billie Jean.
Well, we'll see. It depends on the studios and.
I mean, if they're not all working,
they already own.
If they're not already working for the mouse, they will be. All right, I'm in cap. I got to get a report, and I think this is an actual proper mission. Yeah, I'm going into a mission.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, that was a movie I had not heard of.
Okay.
Until that book.
Okay, so I grew up with HBO. So I actually watched that a fair amount whenever it was like, I guess, a new movie. I guess it came out in like 85 or something, so I was pretty damn young. So I was
they probably showed it, every 4 hours.
Probably. And so me and Jess watched this movie on Tubi, like, half one day and half the next and so forth. And oddly enough, like one of the first things that really hit me was if I had been older when I first watched this movie, Helen Slater would have been like possibly my first erection, because like she's like, you know, I would have crushed on her pretty hard. Instead, you know, me being very pre-adolescent, like preschool almost when I watched this, you know, it was before Rogue taught me I liked ladies, so
yeah, I get that.
instead I don't know how old I was when I first watched Babylon 5. Ivanova got to me first.
Look at that also.
Yeah, so, but like, I feel like there's a pretty good movie in there, but it's not a very good movie. It's interesting, and I don't know how much you know about the movie. If you read about it in Ready Player 2, I'm only assuming that Ernest, what's his name, told you everything about the movie.
Yeah, but in that kind of characteristic way where he assumes I already know everything about it.
Okay.
So, in fact, I probably learned nothing.
Okay. Like, the basic gist is the Slaters are brother and sister, and they're living in, like, Texas, and they're living in a trailer park. And they get kind of like accosted, bullied by some suburban kids, and the leader of the suburban kids steals Christian Slater's like little electrical bike or whatever. It's like a little, like, kind of, I don't know, scooter motorcycle kind of thing, like, kind of, I don't even know what it is.
Okay.
But like, he loves the bike. Like, maybe like he got it from like some insurance money because his dad died or something like that. There's like a little sentimentality in there that they don't really suss out, and I think I need to call on the power of the Juggalos. So
friends,
I want to know if Juggalos make it into Ready Player 2. Maybe that's Ready Player 3.
Maybe
that's going to be Ready Player 3, the Juggalos.
Yeah, one of those. I think he's writing a prequel, actually.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's writing like Ready Player 0 or something.
Fuck my life. Anyway, back to back to what matters, Billie Jean.
As long as he doesn't write another Armada.
Put a pin in that. I don't even know what that is. But
It's his worst book, which is shocking.
Is it nothing but Wikipedia entries?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Oh no shit. Okay, wow.
To a shocking degree where, yeah, there's at least one page that's just a bullet point list of like things that you ought to remember.
Okay, I'm glad that he put his to-do list in his writing book. Anyway, so they take the motorcycle and they bust it up, and like 14-year-old Christian Slater goes to demand, I don't know, his monies or whatever, and he wants justice, and he gets his ass whooped. He gets beat up by the children from suburban hell. So Helen Slater goes to demand justice, $608 to get the bike fixed. And so she goes to talk to the dad, and the dad takes her upstairs into a different part of like the store. Like, this dude owns a store, like a junk shop, like t-shirts and posters and that kind of stuff. And so he basically says that he's going to pay her in installments, and he's going to, pay for sexual favors and or like rape her, assault her in this, you know. So your teenage comedy takes a hard turn, and the friends who were waiting in the car, Christian Slater and Lisa Simpson, oddly enough, one of her live action things, like one of the few things that I know that I don't even know, she's just Lisa Simpson's to me.
Yeah, Yardley Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, that Maximum Overdrive.
And Herman's Head.
Oh, right.
Okay. So
yeah.
Another random thing.
Remember Herman's Head?
Yes. Did that make it into Ready Player 2?
No. Maybe the prequel.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cross my fingers for that. So, there's a misunderstanding with a gun. Like Christian Slater takes a gun out of the shops. Like he finds the gun in the place where the money lives. Where does the money live? In a shop. Tangible money back in the past.
It's been a safe. Like,
no, like the cash register. I could not think of the word.
Okay. I was like, you couldn't possibly forget cash register.
Yes, I did. Words are hard.
I understand that too well.
Okay. Words are hard. So he gets a gun that was just in the fucking cash register, you know, not secured, because apparently that's how they roll. So he's got the gun and he ends up shooting because the gun goes off, and so they go on a little bit of a run. Lisa Simpson, Supergirl, Christian Slater, and somebody else, and they become folk heroes to the young, and there's some interesting stuff about like crime hysteria and making money on other people, because the same guy who ran the shop starts selling like t-shirts and posters about like Billie Jean and her folk hero status.
Okay.
And Peter Coyote is in it, and he's the good cop who didn't do his job and kind of led all to this shenanigans. So the movie's too long. It has an interesting kind of like kind of kick-off thrust, but then it kind of runs out of steam and things to do, and it has some tonal whiplash dealing with attempted sexual assault and like forced prostituting, but I do think there's some interesting stuff about like being from the wrong side of the tracks that it kind of throws out there and then doesn't do anything with it.
And that's kind of typical for the period.
Yeah, because it doesn't want to talk about, it doesn't want to do something that's like political or whatever.
And if you have that in the script, it'll get cut.
Yeah, and it ends with the store getting like she confronts the dad, and she kind of pushes him into like a tiki torch, and that causes the store to burn down, and everybody just doesn't help him. And then the theme song plays, and that's it.
The end.
Because it is a movie with a theme song, and I can't remember it, but you've heard it. I can't remember the name, but you've heard it.
Okay.
So it is a bit of a time.
Theme songs.
Yes, because back in the 80s and 90s, every movie had a theme song.
You get your soundtrack album, and yeah.
Yes. Well, let's go beat the truth out of Dr. Aeon. Yes, please.
Can do.
I'll go give him a swirly. So that's So that's my long-winded take on Billie Jean, and it kind of reminded me of like this, some of the stuff that we've talked about before, with like the whole like a lot of movies dealing with being anti-authoritarian, like not necessarily anti-authoritarian, but anti-authority.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that gets in there too. And I'm wondering if that's like Gen X in a nutshell. Because, like, I don't know if they're Gen Xers, but I think, like, the media that was, like, marketed for them was like, we're not going to take it. No, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it anymore. But, like they just want to do, do drugs and listen to music. But it's not like, no, we're not going to take the draft anymore. which would have been
like ironic disengagement.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah, not so much rebellion as just like non-participation.
Okay.
It's the vibe I get anyway.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't think of it specifically that way, but yeah. Like just like leave me alone and don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like to just be left alone.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do get that. Because, I mean, that's a very, very normal thing to just, hey, don't tell me what to do. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. So I don't need to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
But
you could probably see it as like maybe a final rejection of the values of the 1950s.
I do feel like that like the best, maybe the best of that was like maybe something like Fight Club. Where...
Yeah, which does very much have that attitude.
Yeah. Because I do think that there is something different, but there's a difference between like anti-consumerism, like in Fight Club, but it's not like I don't think it goes so far to being like anti-capitalist.
Yeah, not quite.
Like almost. But like the stuff with like being set free by, blowing up the debt. I would say I'm a little sympathetic to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a revolutionary spirit to that idea.
Yeah. As long as they blow up the debt in a video game.
It's not petitioning the government to do some reforms.
Yeah.
No, let's just blow it up. I get it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's putting a brick through things.
Yeah.
In which I guess that's maybe why the Joker movie was kind of like muddy and I don't know, you kind of see what you wanted to see in it. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if you ever watched the Joker movie or not.
No, I never got to it.
Okay. I'm gonna make Jess watch it, and we're gonna watch the sequel, the musical sequel, because
that everyone hates. That makes me kind of curious though, because everybody hates it.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I'm curious. Like, I'll definitely watch the sequel if you watch it, because I will want to compare notes, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I may get to it eventually, but I haven't seen the first one either, so I'll have to get to that.
Okay, yeah. It's a medley. I gotta remember what all my buttons do. Anyway, but please, you were getting ready to say something.
My interest in like exploring the Joker as a character is approaching zero.
You're approaching absolute cold on the Joker.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, this guy, I'm done with him.
Okay.
I'm done with this Joker guy.
Don't you die on me.
Here. I'm trying.
There is on the topic of the Joker, there is something that I want to talk about, and I do think it's relevant. As soon as Dr. Aeon is down.
I'm gonna beat on my chest.
Like, there's a discussion that I wanted to have with you for a while, and maybe it goes into like the Joker and like his depiction in certain movies, and also like Darth Vader and Doctor Doom and all the like, the patron saints of the edgelords. Let's so maybe let's talk about edgelords.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And it's relevant to certain things going on in politics and so forth. The put upon white dude, the patron saints of the edgelords, Joker and Elon Musk and Tyler Durden and I don't know, Patrick Bateman or something like that. The alpha chads.
The literally me crew.
You mean figuratively me? Oh god. All right.
Edgelord watches a movie and sees a guy and he's like, "That's literally me."
All right. I don't know where I'm going in here. I'm supposed to go here, but like I know you didn't see this movie, The Lords of Chaos.
No, I haven't.
But you have read the book.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, if it's based on the book, which I assume that it is, I don't know. It is kind of weird.
Okay.
Because the book is nonfiction. Basically, just kind of a history of early black metal.
Okay.
So, I mean, so I'm kind of unsure what exactly the movie is in that regard. If it's like a dramatization.
It's a dramatization of the story of Mayhem.
Okay.
And I do recommend the movie. I've seen it a couple of times. I want to just I think I watched it on Tubi or Hulu. I can't remember. But like, whoever's listening to this, can you give like a brief synopsis of Mayhem, the band, like a Wikipedia entry?
Yeah, no, I don't know that I'm capable of that.
When were they?
I mean, they're one of the foundational black metal bands in the early '90s in Norway.
Norway.
In Norway, frozen Norway. And yeah, it was kind of this incorporation of a lot of things that had already been going on in heavy metal, because there are a bunch of disparate influences, and like black metal's got its reputation for being dark and all this, but there's an awful lot of Kiss.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's basically where Corpse Paint comes from. It comes from Kiss and King Diamond.
Okay.
You could say Kiss stole it from King Diamond, but I don't want to get into the nitty gritty.
I got you.
Of it, but I mean, I'm guessing the movie really gets into Varg Vikernes,
the crimes,
the many crimes he committed, the church arsons,
yes,
which were burning down these literally 1,000-year-old churches that had stood for 1,000 years in Norway.
They didn't get into how old they were in the movie, but like,
they were stave churches. They were, that's what they called them, but yeah, they were literally like 1,000 years old.
That's crazy.
And he burned them down, and then he committed a murder.
Yes.
Which everyone agrees was premeditated murder.
Yeah.
Although we claimed it wasn't. But everyone's pretty sure it was. He spent I guess he spent the maximum Norwegian prison time of 20 years,
Yeah.
which was the maximum until Anders Breivik thought all those kids
until he committed a mass murder.
and they made a special exception for him.
Yes. Don't be the guy who makes us come up with a new rule.
Yeah, exactly. And then he moved to France then? I'm not sure.
And did some racism, if I'm not mistaken, and got kicked off like various platforms, maybe?
Yeah, he's been consistently racist since forever.
I'm shocked. I'm glad his ideology finally got cleared up. Which that's actually a point in the movie where Vard goes to goes to the papers, and he's trying to simultaneously distance himself but also like take credit for some stuff, and then talking about like, you know, we're Satanist Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's like the writer, the reporter is basically like, this kid is just saying stuff that he knows is like bad and wrong, like ooh Satanism, ooh Nazis, and just kind of like doing this incoherent medley.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what the fuck any of this means. He just knows that he's trolling before trolling was a thing.
Yeah.
And he's trying to. It's like like one of the things they talked about in the movie, or at least how I understood it, was a group of friends who had severe emotional and attachment problems, trying to outdo each other with trolling and crimes.
And with antisocial behavior.
Yes.
In a country that was very stable, very low crime, and not even particularly Christian. Like, Norway's national religion was Christianity, but it was kind of one of those things where, like, yeah, it's a national religion, but like no one really took it that seriously. So yeah, it was just kind of this broad, like, whatever you're for, we're against, right? Which, you know, was all the way up to and including basic decency, respect for life.
Well, like, is this another case of like we're rebelling, but we don't stand for anything?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit.
Fucking Gen Xers.
Nazis,
Anyway,
a little bit of historical context for that, which I think is useful, is that Nazism is a sore subject in Norway.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they were collaborators during the war, and so I think part of that.
It's a nerve.
It was a nerve that would picket people. It's a point of national shame.
So the pre-edgelords would picket something and get a rise at, you know, I guess people who actually served in the wrong side of history.
Because there were those people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would want to know, like, what kind of, like, was there any cracks in the welfare state that led to these hooligans? Like, was there any kind of like rollbacks of mental health?
Yeah, that I really don't know.
Like, I would want to know like that angle of it, because I look at, you know, mayhem as like however many, you know, a bunch of boys that society failed. Mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's unclear exactly how.
Because that does, I mean, because it goes into, you know, elements of the Joker, like what made Joker become the Joker? Well, according to the movie, everything and nothing.
Yeah.
So, you know, And it's like, hurt people hurt people. And you've been put in timeout.
Well, okay.
And, oh, I'm sorry.
So you're basically most of the fight not being able to target or attack. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I probably should have just not gotten so married to the fight. But.
Do you need a doctor?
What I do. Yeah, I need a doctor.
All right, well, I'll give you one of these. There you go. Take one. Take one. Do you have room?
No way. I can get myself up.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, I can just combine a couple things.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. I'll do lay on hands. Anyway, go ahead.
Another element to like the whole Nazi thing is that it's also kind of like a weird mutation, because you have Lemmy, right, with his from Motorhead, with his pretty famous collection of Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah.
And some of that it's kind of an old school like trophies of a defeated enemy. Like, you'd have soldiers who came back from the war and they'd have their Nazi flags and their mother knives and all these little doodads, their signed copies of Mein Kampf, and it was kind of like, a trophy of a defeated enemy.
Yeah. It's not uncommon.
So there's some of that.
Yeah,
that nostalgia for like, here's this gone enemy that we destroyed, and and collecting some of the doodads of that.
Spoils of war. It's
spoils of war. Yeah. And that in Norway kind of mutating with that, them not having we were the victors in the fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
We sided with the other guys.
Yeah, we didn't win.
Yeah.
We speculated wrong.
Yeah. And that having just kind of a weird mutation on that established kind of heavy metal thing.
And you get like a white aggrievement.
Yeah.
Which that's basically a Nazism right there.
Well, yeah. Because you get that same age-old now idea that, they're immigrants coming into this country and they're getting a better deal than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they are not.
What are you talking about?
They're getting a substantially worse deal.
But I don't have a cat anymore. They ate him. Loki got eaten.
All the cats were eaten.
They were all. Yeah, they came to my door and took my cat. Loki is fine. This is a joke. This is satire. This is stupid. But like the whole thing about like the movie, like the thing I really wanted to touch on, because like the whole edgelord and like the patron saint of a particular, online typically white dude, or definitely typically a dude, is like that movie pops the bubble of the badass folk hero, the badassness. And I think that's why Vard really didn't like the movie, because it showed him as a whiny little so and so. And
exactly what he was.
Yeah, that he was a hurt person who killed his best friend.
Yeah.
And that's not like something to be like, man, that's so metal, that's so badass. No, it's like, no, that's really sad.
Yeah.
And
kind of pathetic.
Yeah, and the way they depicted it in the movie, like, I can't remember, whatever Culkin, Kieran Culkin? Am I getting his name right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Kieran Culkin is the guy who got killed. And the way they kind of depicted it in the movie, like, he had a falling out and kind of wasn't in the band anymore. And he had got a girlfriend and was getting better.
Yeah.
And there was this rumor of like, Kieran Culkin's going to come kill you, man. and it's like so fucking adolescent high school drama that ended with somebody getting killed.
Yeah.
And it's just really fucking sad. And the reason I bring this up in the context of like Doctor Doom and various comic book badasses is because if these people were real people in the tangible world, you would not want to be around them.
Right.
You don't, and that is, I mean, honestly, that's why, myself included, I'm about to out myself. Man, the prequels ruined Darth Vader. Where's my girlfriend, Emperor? And all this, all this stuff.
But
No. Because he's a pathetic incel. He's an incel. Like, he is the saddest intergalactic boy Hitler. He's just sad. It's seriously sad boy.
Yeah.
And nobody and it's kind of a mirror to a certain type of person. And as a recovering sad boy, like, it kind of hurts. I wasn't quite that sad, but I got better.
I mean, everyone has their moments.
Yes.
It's like all those black metal guys. Most of them grew out of it. I mean, the ones who lived, right?
Yeah.
The ones who are still performing.
Yeah, they're all married and got kids and shit.
Yeah, right. They eventually became relatively normal.
They lived life and they got through dark parts.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the specifics, but that most of the time people grow up. Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
And like, is like a tangent, but very similar to like what I'm talking about with this. Have you seen Arcane on Netflix?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the first season of it. I know the second one just came out.
Yes, yeah. I have watched both seasons, and the second season I really liked. Like, it ended. There's not going to be any more.
Yeah. And
I kind of feel like that the second season is 2 seasons in one. I kind of feel like maybe it was originally going to be 3, and then they were like, no, we're doing it in 2 because we want to get it done and over with. So better on your own terms than,
I mean, I know it was very expensive to make.
Really?
So I'm sure that factored into it.
Okay. Yeah. But I do really recommend it. And
yeah, I really like the first season.
Very good. First season is very good. And I feel like that both seasons do a good job of depicting hurting people and systems, and how people can get caught up in systems and be powerless, relatively speaking, in trying to take power, trying to buck the system, both right and wrong. Yeah. And it was the second season. I feel like that the best depiction of Doctor Doom is in the second season.
Oh.
So, okay. And you'll know it when you see it.
All right.
So,
it's interesting.
Yes. And doing it in a way where this individual has trauma, but he's not coming off like a megalomaniacal, narcissistic asshole. He's not like you all but the buzzing of flies around Lord Vigo. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, this person, had friends. So they're not like insufferable. So that's kind of,
Yeah.
yes. Because, like, can you imagine hanging out with Apocalypse?
Be awful.
Yeah, I mean,
He
it
doesn't
would
do anything but monologue.
exactly. That's why it was so jarring when Chris Claremont wasn't writing Magneto anymore. And
Like, it's no matter what you'd be talking about. Like, if your roommate's the Apocalypse and you're talking about, like, cleaning the bathroom, and then he's all, the cleanliness of the bathroom will be determined by the strong. It would just be nothing but conversations like that. It'd be so frustrating.
We will arm wrestle to determine who shall clean the shitter.
The weakest among us shall scrub the toilet. My Dark Riders!
Fetch me the scrubbing bubbles.
And then, you've got to have, like, a death fight against, like, 4 other mutants.
Oh, God.
Just to figure out how the electric bill is going to be split.
That's not a functioning adult.
No.
And I don't know, like, specifically on Apocalypse, I don't know if that's Chris Claremont's take on, like, bridging the gap between, like, an old school Conqueror with, like, a new school Conqueror. Like, bridging the gap between, like, I don't know, Genghis Khan and, like, Mussolini. Because there's, like, that kind of, like, and in later things, they've specifically bridged the kind of social Darwinism. Mm-hmm. Like, because when Sinister and Apocalypse first meet up, it's in the late 1800s, and Apocalypse is kind of like, my ideas are still relevant. Because that survival of, like, science caught up with his ideas, essentially. Yeah. So, and, I don't know if that's, like, Claremont's kind of take on, like, I don't know, scientific fascism or something like that. Like, trying to make that survival of the fittest, like, specifically giving an ideology and not saying it like, Apocalypse is just a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
Because if you have not made it to the age of Apocalypse.
No, I haven't yet.
But it's like, with your, like, I think his symbol that would show up on, like, the comms is like a fist around Earth on fire. It's like, this is the most...
Definitely a good guy symbol.
Yeah, this is... he's totally the good guy. Without the introspection of, like, are we the baddies?
Yeah.
And where the fuck are you in this hellscape?
Well, I run off on some path, stabbing giant eyeballs and little alien men.
Okay. Well, I'm going to the structure.
No, I'll come with you.
Okay. But, like, yeah, that's a lot of soup. I got to thinking about, like, Magneto's shift in character development, that his helmet is just leaded. It's like lined with lead. That's what happened.
You got lead brain.
Yes, that's the reason why we got a very different Magneto. And that,
and some light brain damage.
yes, he's got some light brain damage. That's going to continue. That is going to continue through for the next like 10 years of comic books, and yeah, even to the point where Magneto does some light final solutions. To the point where
he's already been talking about it. So
okay, there's yeah, that crazed Scotsman finally does it, and to the point where they have to retcon that no, that wasn't Magneto. So yeah.
Magneto's gone through a lot of character changes. They continue to this day, from what I understand.
What is he? Is he a good or a bad one currently?
I honestly don't know right now.
Okay. I don't know either. Like when I left him, he was back on the good side.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where he sits now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many kids he's got. I don't know his alignment.
Yeah, he doesn't know either. Either of those things.
Have you read any more X-Men in the time since we last spoke?
No, I really haven't.
Okay.
I have slowed down a bit here in the 90s.
Not as engaging.
Yeah, it's not quite as compelling, even though the comics are faster reads now.
Because
there are less words in them. Yeah. Which in some of that is the transition over to what they call it, decompressed storytelling.
Okay.
Where you've got overall less things happening over the course of one comic book.
They're not cutting away to meanwhile in blah blah. I feel like Chris Claremont did that a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. And you'd have characters, having an entire conversation that would take up, a couple of panels. Right, but now that's getting stretched out to conversations taking up a whole page,
Okay.
And kind of, I guess, the art taking more center stage.
Yeah, the shift to the artists being kind of like the driving force.
Yeah.
I think we go in here. Do we go in here?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm going to click this.
On this glowing thing.
Okay. See, I wonder if that guy in the middle, I wonder if they're a well-adjusted person. You think they they clean the toilets around here?
No, that guy definitely doesn't. Can't be bothered to put on a shirt.
Glenn Danzig School of Ruling.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That does remind me. I have a movie recommendation. Just a small tangent. Are you familiar with the movie Abigail?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I probably saw the trailer like 3 times because it played before every movie we saw for a period.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Does the trailer give it away?
Well, that's one of the reasons that we haven't watched it yet, is because we feel like the trailer told us everything about the movie.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay. It's worth watching.
I've heard that besides that. Yeah, independent of that.
Okay.
So we'll get to it. It's just kind of the peril of the trailers,
Okay, so just it is a movie recommendation. So it is a movie about criminals kidnapping a supernatural entity. I'll just say that, and the wackiness that comes from that. So it is. It would
be a fun thing to not know.
Yes, I do think. Yeah, so it's a supernatural entity. And the reason why I thought of this is because a Danzig song is in the movie. And I don't know why, but I have never, like, I actually like Danzig. I like the Misfits, and I like Danzig. Yeah. And I've never met another Danzig fan in the wild. Yeah. Like, I don't talk to Rick and he's like, yeah, have you listened to the new Danzig album? Or whatever. But I do, and he is a sad boy that has grown up, and he, I think, also went through a bit of a moody period, and
a little bit.
Yeah. I think he grew mutton chops because Wolverine had them.
Yep.
Yeah, and so hey,
fellow short king.
He's short king. Yep, I think he identified with a fellow short king.
With other short, hairy people.
Yes. So, it was quite literally when the song came up, I had not probably listened to it in probably 15 plus years, and I'm like, holy shit, Danzig's playing. And it just made me think of another, like The Hangover plays a Danzig song in the opening credits, and it's just this weird thing that, Danzig made me think of that movie to recommend. So I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about beforehand. I'm lost.
All about Danzig now.
It's all about Danzig, yes.
Have you seen Danzig's movie?
Oh dear God, I know, but I watched the Best of the Worst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a Best of the Worst on Red Letter Media.
That was a good one for them to do.
Yeah, it's like
awful.
Yes.
It starts out pretty hilarious, but then sadly just kind of gets really boring.
Oh no, not boring.
Yeah, the third segment, I'm gonna
die. Don't die.
Help, I need juice. I ain't got none.
You gotta have the juice.
Give us the juice.
So it's just boring?
The first segment's not. The second one's a bit of a step down. The third one is an absolute snoozer.
Oh, wait a minute. What is the movie you're talking about?
It's called Veronica.
Okay, I think there's actually two. There's a movie with him being in it, and that's like a vampire cowboy movie.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't that. No, this is an anthology horror film.
Yeah,
that he directed. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Yes, yeah. I do. Yeah, I am familiar with both of these pieces of cinema. I'm trying to make it out of here so we don't get like just constantly attacked.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the creature effects I think were actually kind of cool in the movie you're talking about. I think like the spider creature or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a standout part.
Okay.
The third segment is this whole total homage to like Jean Roland and like erotic vampire movies, and it just drags and drags and drags.
Okay.
You want to see a woman cover herself in blood over and over and over again for like 40 minutes, then that is definitely for you.
And it was it at least hot or just boring?
It ended up just being boring.
Oh, I feel like you're doing it wrong then. All right, I think we're just going to be getting roulade.
All right, fine.
Where's the way out?
I'm leaving. Is it over here?
Well, where's the hole in the wall? Oh, there's a hole in the wall.
See ya.
Clicky.
See ya, jerks.
All right, where?
Yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, okay, first time's hot, whatever. But then, like, the fourth or fifth time, it's like, okay.
Like Grandpa, the internet is full of porn.
Yes. At least shake it up.
Is this the way out? I'm not even pointing in the right direction.
I got out that way.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find like the exit.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I'm trying to.
Like mission exit.
Yes, the way out of this place. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to attempt to actually use these things. I'm going to use super speed, and I'm going to do this. There we go. All right, that's kind of fun. It's going to be fun until I land in the abyss of nothingness. Where are we going? Where's the exit? All right, I'm at least going in the right direction. There we go. So you would not recommend Verotica or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard recommend because of the dip in quality.
Okay.
The first segment, I think gets really, really close to being so bad it's good. Second one's not as fun, and the third one is no fun at all.
Okay, so is that like 30% fun?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it gets up to being in total maybe about 50%.
Okay, that's not great. I want at least like Abigail was engaging throughout.
I mean, you can kind of juke the numbers on that if you watch like the first segment up until the first time she bathes in blood, and then turn it off.
just fast forward through that.
Because you've seen the rest of it.
I am not opposed to doing the fast forward feature, although I don't like doing that because I do feel like I'm cheating.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that.
I shouldn't have to do that. You're gonna make me kidnap a dude. All right. All right. I am selecting this. Like I didn't have to fast forward through Billie Jean.
I mean, it counts for something.
Yep. And it wasn't totally just
checking your watch. Then that's pretty good.
It wasn't totally like Helen Slater swimming or whatever. She only went swimming once.
Yeah, that's all you need. You got to know when to stop.
Yeah. Is there a hole in the ground? Where are we going? I guess I gotta fly over the wall. Here we go. Alright, what else is going on? Have we exhausted our X-Men and Danzig team up?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess there's not much more to say about that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have you? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've watched that's worth a shit.
We watched okay, that's really funny. I ran up here to beat up on these Nazis and immediately got like mesmerized by a vampire. Like instantly.
Just hit the pause button.
Fuck my life. We watched a British show that we actually ended up really liking, called Inside Number 9.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah, we hadn't either, and the only reason we ended up watching it is because Shannon had seen online that they had a really good Halloween episode.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Okay.
Because it was partly kind of a trick played on the audience, which was really neat. And they've done a couple things like that since then. But the show is basically, it's an anthology show. Every episode is a completely different story with completely different characters. But it'll have some of the same actors in common.
Okay, so kind of like an American Horror Story-esque.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, but more disconnected.
Okay.
Because the stories will even go, there'll be different genres.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of loosely classified as a black comedy show, but sometimes it is just a black show.
Okay.
Sometimes it's very dark.
Okay.
And yeah, they've done a few horror-themed episodes. They did a couple of kind of sci-fi themed ones, but yeah, it was a really clever show and we liked it. As far as I know, you can probably only watch it on BritBox.
Or a Black Alley or VPN it.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're able to tweak the rules.
Yes, if you're able to manipulate the terms of the game.
Okay.
But it was, yeah, we ended up watching however many seasons. Oh, it had 9 seasons.
Okay.
Those are British seasons, so they're like
3 episodes a season.
it might be, it's less than 10.
Okay.
I forget exactly, but yeah, so not a huge number. And each one's like about an hour long.
Okay.
But
So
yeah, we ended up liking that quite a bit.
So is it kind of like Black Mirror-esque, or does it rub up against that at all, or?
Sometimes a little bit. But yeah, it really is kind of just all over the place, genre-wise. Like they did an episode that was all kind of a big homage to Shakespeare, and also kind of British screwball comedies. And then they also did an episode where they did a fake promo for the episode that was coming up, and then when it was supposed to air, instead it looked like a game show started. And for probably about the first, I don't know, 10, maybe almost 20 minutes of the episode, it seems like it's just some weird new game show. It's airing on BBC Two or whatever, and it was a whole kind of prank they played on the audience. It ends up going in a weird direction, but like apparently watching it at the time, people were expecting an episode because there was a promo for it, but that episode just never happened because instead they were doing this game show episode that people thought for a while was an actual game show.
What you're describing almost makes me feel like if they tried to do Too Many Cooks as an actual TV show.
It gave me a little bit of that kind of Adult Swim kind of prankster vibe when they were doing that. Yeah, like Too Many Cooks, which they just showed with no fanfare. Nobody knew what it was. It just aired at like, I don't know, midnight or 12:30 or something.
Okay, yeah.
When you're watching, you have no idea how long it is. Which, that relates to one of the other things we watched, which is, maybe you heard of it, but it's something else he did on Adult Swim. It was the same guy who did Too Many Cooks, Casper Kelly. But he did a thing called Yule Log. This was a couple of years ago.
I have not heard of this.
Okay. It was another thing that just at like 12:30 on Adult Swim, it just started airing. And it starts out as one of those, Yule log videos where you're just looking at a fireplace.
Like you would have on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it does that for a minute, but then it's not that.
Oh.
And it ended up being an entire feature-length horror movie.
Okay.
With 90 minutes, which if you're just there watching at the time, you have no idea what it is or how long it is. But it was actually really interesting. It's very batshit.
Like Too Many Cooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's
Not
cool.
quite to that level of batshit, but I mean, there's some pretty batshit stuff in it. And it goes kind of all over the place. But it actually does have a couple of really, I think, interesting things to say. So if you can check that out, I would recommend checking out Yule Log.
Is it going to be like on their YouTube channel or something?
I don't even remember where I think we ended up having to rent it.
Okay.
But it was like $2.99 or something. I don't know. It might be like if you've got cable, you might be able to watch it.
Okay.
On the Adult Swim app. I honestly have no idea.
All right, and the British show is Inside Number 9.
Inside Number 9.
Okay,
yeah.
I will. All right, I will look into these. Life finds a way. The internet will provide some way to watch these things.
It will somehow.
Somehow, because I mean, like Too Many Cooks, I watched that on like YouTube.
Yeah.
So I mean, Adult Swim.
I didn't see it when it came out.
Yeah.
So I was looking at cable-free life then. It's still M, but whatever.
I am being attacked by several fascists.
Me too. I'm gonna come to you.
This guy's rifle is disappearing and reappearing. All right, we got to kidnap somebody. And I see. All right, is there? No. Is there anybody in here? Because I don't want to like leave this area and then have to come back.
Hate backtracking.
Yeah, I want to be, because we're going to have to backtrack anyway to get said individual out of here. All right. This way? Question mark? Are you here? Ping. All right, there's some people in here. There's a Cylon and some fascists. They're all in here. They're all in here swearing off women. Oh, I knew I wanted to bring this up. Did you hear about the little Christian nationalist couple who got talking about how sex with women is gay?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Well, you're slipping because Jess knew about this. I didn't have to backtrack with her.
All right.
Okay. So the couple, they're called the Moody's.
Okay.
And
yeah, the Moody's. Yeah.
The Moody's. They are
the old people.
No, they are like 20 years younger than us.
Okay. I just wonder if they're related to Yeah.
Somebody else?
Yeah. I know Moody is a publisher of
Huh.
Christian stuff, but might
Okay.
might be related. But anyway.
That might actually be. Okay, but anyway, so there are two people that are getting elevated by the billionaire griftosphere, say racist stuff, and the blue checks will say give more. So you've got like in the clip that's making the rounds, this, I don't know, kind of like left liberal type was interviewing these two insane dumbasses, and so you've got like this 20-year-old neckbeard individual talking about this kind of like racy edgelord kind of stuff, and it was something of a debate, and in the discussion the future individual, this individual in a glass closet, if you will, talking about if you're having sex, even with if you're having sex with like your wife, and you're doing it to have an orgasm and not like procreate, then that's gay. It's sinful, essentially, like equating that as a sin and being deviant, therefore, for lack of a better way of putting it, gay, if you will.
And they have the gall to make fun of transgender people.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, yes.
For real.
Yes. So the little man is on you, so I'm bringing up the rear.
On doofus.
So yeah. So number one, I feel sorry, and I feel like have I brought up the no fun brigade?
Yeah.
Okay. I've had to have brought up the no fun brigade on stream, but if I haven't, it's just like my pet name for like my grandmother and like people that think Satan is living in heavy metal, or I'm saving myself for marriage.
The saddest people on earth.
Yes.
Incapable of joy. Living only to die.
Yes. They're abstaining from the things that make life worth living, as far as I'm concerned. Like it's like,
yeah, but not even in like a principled way, in kind of like a spiteful kind of way.
There is a little spite in there. Yes, no kidding.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem like they're having fun.
Why did I come up here?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're having no fun in life, and they don't want anyone else to have fun either.
Yes, there is that definite, like, the control angle for, you can't have an abortion because you have to be punished. And if you're punished, I get an erection.
Yeah.
But I can't do anything about it because that would be sinful. All right, this guy, oh God.
Get over here.
There you go. So, yeah, and I just really feel sorry for these two, and I will call them kids. They're grown-ass adults, and they have a child that they posted a video of the child saying the N-word, so they were very proud. Then they had to take it down. So, yeah, good times. I don't know. Yeah, okay, there's a hole over there. So anyway, now that I want to, I feel largely I feel sorry for these two idiots because I've seen this movie before and somebody's closeted.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody feels bad about being bisexual, or I don't know if I do get the sense that the woman, the Jezebel, if you will, is manipulating this idiot pretty hard to grift pretty hard. because she's just kind of sitting back and grinning, and
playing the Lady Macbeth
a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of it's sad. It's like as soon
Like you're watching a hostage situation.
yeah, it's like once the clitoris is found, the politics are going to change.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Once she achieves orgasm with somebody, and I don't care what gender or genitals they have, she is going to have a come to Jesus moment.
Maybe literally.
Yes. And I don't know, maybe when he's free to date men, he'll change and he'll be less hateful.
I mean, maybe.
I'm just saying. And I think it's sad because, we're only on this rock for a short amount of time, and giving people bad advice is pretty shitty in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And like leading them astray, not in like a biblical sense or like a religious sense, but it's just like, there's like if the Almighty really is, it's a purity culture that they cannot like even adhere to. It's like, I'm sorry, you all got married, you're not committing adultery, but then it's like, well, you have to hate sex and only have a kid every time you orgasm.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just ridiculous. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't think this is in the Bible.
Right. I mean, God did create the orgasm. I don't know what else to tell you.
And it really made me think of like that part in 1984 where they're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff that I feel is driven by like a Nietzschean kind of resentment.
I'm not familiar.
Which is that kind of, it is a kind of like being jealous of other people in a way.
Like a spiteful jealousy?
Yeah, so like you label the stuff they're doing as bad and immoral, right? And you're good for not doing it. But like you kind of really wish you could do it.
So you end up just by yourself at the party and nobody wants to talk to you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've thought that about like the transgender panic. And I've thought that probably more than a little of it, I think, is motivated by a jealousy. By this idea
that they can't be free, maybe?
Right. That there are people who have like looked at their conditions and have realized that there's something wrong and then have decided, I can change that. Right.
You're describing Steven Crowder. I don't know if you're familiar with that asshole, but yeah. They're like a number of people that that I follow. Their take is that individual is closeted in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they get deeply jealous of people who have like taken charge of their lives in that sense and
they're doing their best self.
Right. And have decided that whatever other people tell them is wrong, they're not going to listen anymore. That they're going to do what's right for themselves, and they're going to try to improve their life.
Yeah.
Right. Even if other people say that it's bad.
Yeah.
And I think there really is a deep jealousy for that. This kind of like, how dare you try to take control of your own life?
Because they want to do it and they can't, or they feel like they can't.
Like they can't. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, I really do feel that way, and it might not, it's not necessarily specifically a gender issue thing. It could be anything that they personally, kind of deeply feel restrained about, and it's kind of like, well, you could break those chains, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they feel like they can't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think they get deeply resentful of people who have decided, no, I'm going to break out of the box.
Like, it is my understanding that it's pretty common for trans women to grow a beard before they come out. Before that it's a last ditch effort to say, no, I am a masculine man.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's
one last.
It's one last
attempt to fit in the box.
To straighten up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recommend listening to some trans YouTubers. It broadens your horizons. You get to it builds some empathy.
About people who are different from you.
Yes.
But I mean, not all that different, really.
Yeah.
I mean, in many ways, the crisis of modernity is the crisis of identity.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who are we? What are we worth? Especially in this kind of post-capitalist landscape.
Yeah, and
what is a human being worth? What is our identity worth?
I mean, shit.
Where do we fit? Besides being an employee.
Yeah.
Besides being a tax base. Besides being a consumer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What are we?
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, shit. Yeah. I struggle with that. Like, there's not a lot of value to a stay-at-home dad. I mean,
it's the struggle of the age, I think.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that
are we in this system?
There is a little, that probably had something to do with, I don't know, old Vard Viker not being, happy in the cold, so to speak. He felt like societal cold, like
being part of a system that you feel like you have no control over. And a system that stubbornly refuses to change. And that, in fact, kind of treats itself as, like, the final stage, right?
Yes.
That really smugly, our industrial capitalist democracy.
The final form of human evolution.
Final form of human civilization.
It really is.
After.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then it's like, well, what is any of this worth? Right? Is that really all there is?
Yes.
We just go to work and buy things.
Yes.
To keep the machine going. And that's, it's led people to question a lot of things that, previously were considered fundamental about themselves.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of courage to at least, in one area of your life say, no, I'm not just defined by these terms. That I can, in some way, define myself.
Yes.
Beyond, what marketing demographics I fall into. And people who are very invested in the shape of the box, they find that really threatening, but at the same time pretty envious.
Yeah. I am going to try to find what's in the box because I have to do a theft. I have to reclaim the formula and only got about 6 minutes. Yeah. So I'm going to do what I do best, which is run around and thieve. And I ain't seeing no giant eyeballs around here.
I'm just collecting skulls.
Okay, you keep it going. Cloned hero. where do I need to... I don't hear no wah-wah. So what you're saying is capitalism won't let us be happy?
Right.
It's almost like it requires suffering and the threat of suffering as a way to make it work. Oh, wow.
Won't let people be happy. Won't let them be their authentic selves.
I'm pretty sure...
Won't give them meaning or purpose.
I'm pretty sure somebody's already wrote this down, but I'm going to take credit.
Yeah.
I'm going to take credit. Remember to like and subscribe.
Heard it here first.
I got the Communist Manifesto for Christmas. I haven't read it yet. I don't know. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's other Marx stuff in there too. I'm going to read it.
Probably the manifesto itself is pretty short, so there's probably
other stuff in there.
Commentary and some other writings.
Okay.
In there, it's short but fairly dense.
Okay. You MFer. God, I was like, where did that guy jump to? Like, I just saw somebody just go up, and away, and I thought I had a stroke for a minute. Where is the formula? Is it mutagen? Is it Bitcoin? What am I stealing?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna go run around because I don't want to lose in a video game. It's gonna make me feel less of a person. At least with
uninstall the game.
I'm gonna uninstall. Is it this way? Okay, there's more stuff this way. Another door.
Always another.
Are you in here? Hello? I found another elevator. I'm sorry, your adventure, you got to do an adventure on your own. I'm sorry.
Another elevator.
Yay, cosmic ray exposure. That's cool. I wanted to ask you, is it a good idea to put tariffs on, like flat tariffs on all of our three major trading partners? Like
we're a long way from NAFTA, huh?
Like we're not NAFTA anymore.
Nope. Not if you're slapping a 25% tariff on Canadian goods.
Fuck your bananas.
What did Canada do?
Healthcare.
Golly. Yeah, it's a wonderful idea that'll have no knock-on effects, no blowback of any kind.
All right, I'm ejecting.
All right, success.
All right. Yeah, like I really like eating bananas. Like I eat bananas a lot. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like we go through bananas a lot, and it's my understanding that they come from Mexico. It's my understanding. So I'm a little upset. I feel like I'm personally getting targeted by Donald J. Trump. But
well, as a member of the of not the billionaire class. Yeah, you kind of are.
Okay. I want to bring up the bananas because I don't think that anybody is going to bring up bananas. Because these tariffs are bananas. Insert spelling of bananas here. Oh, that motherfucker. Because I don't have a business degree, I just kind of feel like it's a bad idea if the three countries, like the top three countries, two of which are your neighbors, if you're like, I want to discourage trade with our three biggest trade partners, and I've been terrorized.
Did you share a border with?
Yeah. That literally to the north and to the south. I feel like it's a bad idea. I feel like they say don't do the business textbooks say don't do that, you big dummy.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Tariffs have been pretty antithetical to the way America's done business for quite some time.
That it's a bad idea to get in, I believe it's called a trade war.
Yes.
But
Protectionism is bad.
At least this way. Like,
I thought this was all about China.
Yeah, like I don't know if we're going to start growing bananas in Kentucky.
Yeah, we're not.
And we're going to protect Kentucky bananas. I don't know. Or, I don't know, California.
Well, there won't be anyone to pick them, so even if we did.
Oh, somebody made the joke that wall isn't to keep Mexicans out, it's to keep Americans in. I'm gonna start illegally entering Mexico to get bananas.
Yeah. I'm a banana smuggler.
Yes.
FBI's 10 most wanted.
My code name will be Big Chiquita.
We'll just have a composite sketch.
Oh God, I messed up. I'm gonna say no. Like, Jess's code name will be La Femme Chiquita.
That's pretty good.
Oh God. Yes, I'm laughing at my own joke.
You're allowed to sometimes.
Yes. Now I want to make a banana femme fatale character, La Femme Chiquita. Oh God. I'm bringing together dad jokes and politics. Oh God.
The deadly combination.
Like, I don't know what to say. Like, this is just dumb fuckery.
Yeah.
And it turns out that, like, Elon is all, like, his build is bad. I was hoping if, like, maybe you could shed some light on, like, whatever, like, is it Diablo 4, the game that he pays people to play for him?
Oh, yeah.
Like somebody was saying that if you look at his actual build, it's like bad.
I know there was talk about that with Elden Ring.
Maybe I'm thinking of that.
Yeah, that he had a bad Elden Ring build.
Like
Because with Diablo, I mean, literally you go to a website and just copy what somebody else did.
Oh, okay.
And he's playing Spiritborn, which is intentionally broken right now anyway.
Okay.
Because it's the new class, and Blizzard basically said, yeah, we're not going to fix it till next season, so enjoy it. A class that literally you can do, like, trillions of damage. There was also a bug exploit that everyone thinks Elon was using. recently when he got his #1 spot, which again is just on one website and relies on self-reporting. I mean, he's got a video of it, but again, it's a gear game, so it's not hard to copy a build and then maybe pay real money for the gear that you need for that build to operate at maximum efficiency. Not at all difficult.
Humans were a mistake.
But there's no way he's playing Diablo for 18 hours a day to farm. To farm the items he needs.
And run several heavily subsidized industries or whatever.
Yes, and make plans to operate a new government agency that has a stupid meme name.
And that's like...
And it's not even an up-to-date meme name.
It's purely to promote, like, a coin.
Yeah. Pretty grotesque.
This isn't real life. I feel like...
of cyberpunk.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, like, I've not read any cyberpunk, literature, but I feel like that it's just as, like, from what you have described, like, my take is it's a zanier version of RoboCop that includes samurai.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a good explanation of it.
So, RoboCop 3.
Yeah.
So that's my take. It just feels like everything is I'll buy that for $1, except for the I buy that for $1 guy is now running the country.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, like, somebody, like, I read a quote from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas that's like, and I'm paraphrasing, it's something to the effect of, like, we're just a nation of 250 million used car salesmen. So that's...
Yeah.
Since the election, I've been thinking about that. And I think there's some validity, because I don't know if you heard about, like, I can't remember how old this kid was, but literally a kid, like, streamer who, like, did a pump and dump with his audience on, like, a cryptocurrency, and he made, like,
really?
he made like 30 grand, and he did the pump and dump scheme, like, live on air right in front of his audience, and he made like 30 grand, which, that's not a lot of money. But if you're like an 8-year-old or he was somewhere between like 8 to 12 or something like that, and that's just fucking ridiculous. Like, this is not at all how the real world should be.
No. God, that reminds me, I read a really weird article today. I want to say it was on The Verge. I don't remember. But it was about this lawsuit that's going on between two influencers.
I have not heard of this.
Specifically, these are people who, their whole thing is that, I guess, clean girl aesthetic.
You're going to have to explain clean girl.
Okay. It's like you're a woman and you look really put together, and you live in this minimalist house where everything is white and black and cream colored, and you show the stuff that you bought on Amazon.
Okay.
To get other people to buy it on Amazon so that you get paid.
Okay. All right. That's a common scheme, like an Amazon link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently there are a ton of these virtually identical, indistinguishable accounts that are all, women in their sparse black, white, and cream-colored houses buying the exact same stuff on Amazon, making a little TikTok video, putting it on a table, and then, saying to check out their Amazon storefront so you can buy it, and then they get paid.
So,
but, yeah.
Can I ask a question, just a clarifying question?
Mm-hmm.
Is this basically it's Is it sponsored content? Well,
I mean,
they're partnered because they have a link, but
right.
are
With
they
Amazon, Amazon has their resources for them
Yes.
to use, which will tell them like, hey, here's trending stuff. Here's
Okay.
what people are looking at, so it's all very heavily algorithmic. So they're all looking at the same stuff because Amazon is basically telling them what to look at.
Okay,
And then
so
they're
Amazon is
promoting
giving
it.
them guidance buy this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. To get a
Here's some
return
stuff
on their
that's
link.
trending. Right.
Okay.
Tell your followers to buy this stuff. Stuff that's like already trending or whatever.
Isn't
make
it
the
is this
numbers
the
go up.
is this the influencer equivalent of insider trading
I mean,
or a pump and dump?
it definitely feels like a scam.
It does. But it's a symbiotic it's
Scam-based
symbiotic
economy.
because Amazon sells stuff
Right.
and they give they're basically partnering with influencers to
They
hey,
basically advertise Amazon stuff that's sold on Amazon.
okay, so it is very sponsored because it's basically sponsored unboxing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Not like directly, where they don't have like necessarily direct. They're not like Amazon employees, obviously.
Yes, they're independent contractors.
They're basically independent contractors.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But there's this one of these influencers is suing another for copyright infringement.
Do tell.
Because she says that her videos look too much like hers, and the woman herself looks too much like her, and that she buys all the same stuff that she does on Amazon and makes videos.
We'll take that up with Amazon.
But of course the issue is they're all getting the info from the same place, they're all buying it from the same place, and they all look that way because that's how they all looked.
Okay, because
it was really just this bizarre, I don't know, it almost seemed like satire.
Or the Spider-Man meme pointing at Spider-Man.
Yeah, it seemed like a joke. Like someone who, and it's all very predicated on this looking very beige.
Looking like a Kardashian?
Basically that's where it starts.
Okay, yes.
That's where it came from. Yeah, so they're all really just kind of doing that.
Yes. They're keeping up with the Kardashians.
Attention Bajoran workers.
Yes.
But yeah, it was just kind of, because it seems like something that is obviously not copyrightable because you're not doing anything interesting or original. Like it's literally beige.
I feel like this is the legal equivalent of get off my street corner. I'm working on this street corner.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
It's a legal turf war.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So that's just the law.
Our sales are being impacted by this woman doing the exact same thing. That, again, to be clear, lots of other people do. It's not just them two. Like there are lots of people doing this, and they all look the same and all act the same.
Because they're all from the
the same products.
Yeah.
Because they're all in the same algorithm. The algorithm is dictating it.
What they should do is unionize, not fight.
Well, yeah, and the article actually mentioned that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that there have been people talking about unionization for influencers. And also talking about how stuff like that is hard to get off the ground because in general people don't have much sympathy for them.
Okay.
Like they see it as low effort, easy work. And so people generally don't really care if those people are being exploited.
Yeah, I mean...
People's attitude is like, well, you can get a real job. Right.
But...
Which, to be fair, I get.
Well, I mean...
You get it.
But...
Because it really is a weird, I don't know, it's a weird aspect of modern capitalism.
I mean,
influencer thing. It's bizarre.
That is bizarre. I mean, I think it's shitty because it shows that anybody can make money online if they've got a daddy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean,
yeah.
That the algorithm, if you know how the algorithm works, if you know the cheat, you can do it. I mean, there you go.
People that have done that. I mean, that's basically the entire Mr. Beast thing, right?
Yeah.
Was he learned how the fucking algorithms work?
Yeah.
And what would get the most eyes on content?
Yeah.
And if you can game the system, you can do pretty well.
Yeah, and also be kind of evil.
And also be kind of evil.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Evil helps.
It's the name of the game, capitalism.
Yeah.
It really helps if you're kind of evil. Because, you know, this isn't the industrial age anymore, where you can come up with a better mousetrap, right?
Yeah.
And then get it built, and then maybe retain some of your common feelings of humanity for your fellow man. Maybe, not necessarily, but you might. You might be like, oh, I remember when I was just a regular Joe before I invented the world's best mousetrap and became a mousetrap millionaire. It's not that age anymore. It's like all built on some level of exploitation and manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't making no mousetraps now. I'm sorry, those mousetraps are made elsewhere with children.
They're going to be 25% more expensive.
Yes.
Pretty soon.
Yep.
So.
And now you know. The more you know, the madder you get.
And now it's like the most effective way to make money is weirdly like playing some kind of mind games with people. Like I'm thinking about all this AI investing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And how all of this is just the most snake oil salesman. I've got a magic potion in my wagon that'll regrow your hair and it'll cure your erectile dysfunction. And if you have cancer, it'll make that go away too.
Yes.
$5 a bottle.
Yeah,
it's hucksterism. Everything is hucksterism now.
Yeah, we've just gained 100 more million used car salesmen.
Yeah.
The situations are different. The feelings are the same. Do you need to call it?
Yeah, it's about that time.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to remember to hit that like and subscribe. I promise never to try to scam anybody into Dogecoin or whatever the fuck. I promise. Even though that might be how I pay off my student loans. That's a better, like, you know, that's a clearer, you know, path to pay off my student loans than, I don't know, waiting on the Biden administration. I speculated badly on that one.
Yes. It was a bet that did not pay off.
Yes. And on that chipper note, I'm going to find the button. And bye.